Welcome back to Meticulous Mechanic. I'm wrapping up my series on checking and adjusting the valves. While I was waiting for my front forks to come in, I repacked the steering head bearings. I have a complete playlist on that. I made a playlist on installing the front forks and the rear shock. Just finished up a video series on installing the front brakes and bleeding the hydraulic system. Next thing to do will be to reinstall the airbox. Reinstalling the airbox shouldn't be too bad. We just have to redo this cylinder head breather hose and the air induction system hose. Those just attach up underneath, and then plug in the ECU to the wiring harness. I've had this rag over the air induction system to keep the dirt out, but I'm just going to leave that on there for now until I get the airbox on here. The trick will be to get the cylinder head breather hose attached first, and then this air induction system second. I've had this stored over here with the cover on. I have a new air filter. I'm just going to take it out for now. It just slides up like this. I have the three main bolts that hold it on, all the bolts that hold the cover in this bag. The trick will be to get the cylinder head breather hose attached here and the air induction system hose attached there, and get the 3 ports from the air intake attached. It's really hard to film inside here, so I would refer to the video on removing the airbox to see exactly how this goes in. However, one thing to note when reinstalling it, this actually has a lip down here a certain distance away, and the good news is that we'll know it's on correctly when it goes all the way down to the surface, because it's going to bump up on here and here. I remember when I took it off, it was really hard to jiggle it off this surface because this is really dry and it's kind of rubbery. So I'm just going to take a little Q-tip with some water like that, and then rub a little bit around here just to get it to slide on easy. Probably do that on the rubber boot also. That should help it go down fast. I'm going to give myself a little help too by putting a little water on here. It'll just dry up, and over here. I have the cylinder head breather hose attached underneath there, and I'm going over here to install this air induction system. But I got over to here. I couldn't remember which way the fuel tank was routed, whether it goes in between or what. So I'm going to check out my video on removing the airbox. I pulled up my video on removing the airbox, and I can see that that fuel line goes in between these two. When I remove this air induction system hose, I just use like regular needle nose pliers. But I found out if you use a pair of channel locks on here, they'll totally cinch it all the way and clamp. And then you can just slide it up right where it goes and then let go. It's a lot easier. I have 3 bolts tightened down here, and I have these tightened down in there. Slide in the air filter. Just for reference, the air comes in through this hole and then out the bottom here. And then it'll come out the bottom of that thing up like this, and through the air filter over to the other side of the air filter and into the intake manifold, which you can see goes down in here. If this were a carbureted motorcycle, this air flap would move directly proportional to the throttle input, but instead there's a cable comes over here from the throttle, and that actually interfaces with the computer to determine how much this opens to get the proper air fuel ratio. We're on the home stretch here. I'm just going to move these wires away and then slide this down on top and install the bolts. I had removed these with a regular Phillips screwdriver head, but I did learn something in the video where I took off the master cylinder that this JIS fits way better. So I'm going to use that. I don't want to use the impact to go all the way down, so I'll just get close and then hand tighten it. It's just threaded into plastic. If you watch the airbox removal video, there's a section on taking off this ECU. So if you spin this around, you can hear this is the little tab that you pry up with a screwdriver. I'm pushing with my thumb. You can see how it releases that tab there. These are the little tabs that you pry up to get it out. Pretty nice. It just slides in and it'll click in there. Then tuck in these 2 wires into here. Then it's just a matter of plugging it in carefully. Make sure you push it in straight. There's all those pins. It should click. And the other one. I'm pushing on either side, so I push in evenly. That's good. All that's left now is the fake air scoops and hooking these two up to the tank, the electrical connector and the fuel line.